Hello everybody, one more mail day. This time it is from a store that I have a really great history of relationship with. It is Troll and Toad, and I know that it is not one of the high profile stores nowadays, but I really appreciate their service. This is the second shop that I ever ordered from. The very first shop was MTG Fanatic. Does anyone remember MTG Fanatic? It's not a store that exists anymore as far as I can tell. I went to check their website some time ago, and yeah, I can say that they're gone. But Troll and Toad, interestingly enough, if you don't know the history, is not the original Magic store. Unlike three other stores that I use, which is Inview Games, Card Kingdom, and the Star City games, even though I didn't use Star City for a long time. And I'm not planning to, especially with the store update that they got. So Troll and Toad specialized in miniatures, toys, video games, and a lot of other hobby things. So they were actually around even before Magic existed. In case you didn't know, that's absolutely beautiful. And this is a store that I always praise. So many times I praise them for their amazing service, for listening to me in case I had some issues, and I just really and truly appreciate their service. First of all, let's see what it is. Handle with care, do not bend. I actually got hit with customs fees on this one. No problem at all. They were not very big. About, I believe, what was it? Maybe $20, probably like that. I didn't go over the limit that much. And the best thing is that I didn't have to go to the customs office, unlike I had to last summer, which was absolutely terrible, and a lot of paperwork. So you never know. You never know. This is the interesting thing, is that there are some procedures, there are some interesting things, but okay, wait. Is there actually anything inside? Is it empty? Is there anything inside? Okay, yeah, now. We'll start with the best card. We'll start with the best card. As long as I still have your attention, we'll start with the most expensive card. And the only card that will actually bring me closer to my goal of collecting all 93 and 94 unique Magic cards. Even though it is a reprint, this is an iconic card. The Abyss, my friends. The Italian Abyss. A really good copy, I would say. Not near mint. There is some pressure, and overall the surface is great. And I love Italian The Dark and Italian Legends. We'll have more discussions on that. I love the saturated colors and the black cards. If you just look at how dark they are, they're simply amazing. And of course, the Abyss by Pete Venters is an iconic card. Not only it is a good card, but it's also really iconic in terms of its art. As you know, never reprinted, reserved list card. Really beautiful one. And yeah, the only way I could afford this card is to buy the Italian copy. But now I've got the so-called Four Horsemen of Black Legends, which is the Abyss, Nether Void, Chains of Mephistopheles, and also All Hallows Eve, which is still in the mail. I am planning to get it real soon. I'm expecting to get it real soon. So yeah, this was the only reason actually why I decided to make this purchase from Troll and Toad. But then I said to myself, okay, why not throw in a couple of other nice cards. Some foreign black bordered, some collector's editions. So let's examine what we've got. And this foreign black bordered, they were so cheap. And as you know me, I like the variety. I like having different editions of different cards. I'm not always aiming for the pimp cards. Of course, it's nice to have alpha, beta cards. It's nice to have different editions. I truly enjoy this. I know that some people dislike it. They say that they prefer to have all cards from the same edition. When you put them side by side, there is no color discrepancy, but it's a matter of taste. So we have got black bordered called Siren, animate artifact, For most of these cards I already have a playset, so they will be just additions. In my binder I always put the English copy first, so that I can read the text, and also arrange them alphabetically by their English name, in case I want to do that. But it is always nice to have some other copies. Conversion, I believe I didn't have a playset of, so this is an extra nice thing, a bonus. Reverse Polarity, a useless card, nice to have. Stone Giant is good. Tranquility, also quite playable, but doesn't see really much play. Scathe Zombies I have more than a playset of, but you know me, I always like to get black bordered black cards. Foreign black bordered, German black bordered, oh, that's so nice. The same can be said, of course, about Weakness as well. Conservator, pretty useless. Frozen Shade, really nice. Haven't actually played it, didn't see it very often. Amazing art, beautiful card. Feedback, Quinton Hoover. Many times I have said that Quinton Hoover is one of my favorite artists, one of the artists for whom I would say, for whose art it was an acquired taste. I didn't appreciate his art when I started. I mean, I did appreciate some of his pieces, such as Ball Lightning, which is amazing, but some other, you know, Stained Glass and these cards with amazing contour, I only got them to appreciate them later. Then we have got Pure Lace. I believe I have only one copy or two. Does it matter? No, no, not at all. Then we've got this Ratten. They are quite nice. Plague Rats deck. And you know, it's such a pity because with modern rules, when you cannot have more than 4 copies of this, that's just a pity. And I wish they would errata this to Relentless Rats that, you know, effect. And there are a couple of more modern cards where the deck limit of 4 cards doesn't apply to these. But this is just terrible. It's just terrible. Of course you can clone them, but it's much better to clone Goblin King or Lord of Atlantis. Why would you clone this card or use it at all? I mean, it is playable in Alpha 40. This particular copy is not. Okay, you got the idea. It's useless. Mons, Goblins, Goblin Raiders, right? The Pegasus. Scavenging Ghoul, I believe I did not have a playset of, which is nice. Stream of Life, beautiful card. So far we only had German cards, is this correct? Yeah, German cards. It's very interesting about the languages, because I believe that the original idea, you know, with many of these cards, especially the older sets, is that some cards fetch a premium. Again, they will of course be niche cards, they will be somewhat less desirable to the general public, but some people appreciate Japanese, they value it quite highly. Also Korean, Russian when it actually became a thing, and Chinese, depending on the print. There are some Chinese, I believe simplified is actually more scarce than the others, as I have heard. Simplified Chinese 7th edition foil, it's just, I don't know, 50 copies in the world or less, so some amazing numbers. I don't know much. And German is somehow in the middle. Well, for me personally, it's one of the languages that I like. I used to learn German at school. My German is very poor, but I do understand it a little bit, and I know it's not the language that commands a premium, but it still doesn't really lower the price a lot. I know that French maybe is somewhat on the lower side, and Italian and Spanish, as I have heard again, is not one of the languages that they will give you a lot of money for. And again, I'm judging by my lists and my personal experience, so I don't know. But I wanted to get, you know, as many cards as I could. There was no specific choice. I just said, okay, we've got a lot of very cheap, like 10, 15, not 10, but I believe 15, 20, 25 cent cards. Why not get the black bordered goodness? Celestial Prism, quite useless. Howl from Beyond, again a black card. You know that I'm collecting these. I'm collecting this Arabian Nights Mountain, and I did not have a German one. So of course it's too early to talk about a global set. For the global set I will need the original Arabian Nights Mountain, which I'm not getting, I believe. Really don't want to spend that much money on this. And Summer Magic, I had an opportunity to buy it, and then it was bought by somebody before me, and yeah, I'm just not going to declare that this is a global set. This is just nice to have these. And we'll have a comparison video. You used to have a comparison video of these mountains with the same art, and we'll talk about them. This will be a re-upload, a redux, so to say. Then we've got Neil Sylvan, the very nice card, the English copy. Actually, I believe I had the Italian, the dark copy. Rook Egg, was really happy to get it. I only had 2 of these, so now I've got a playset. I've got the tokens. I will also show you the tokens. The original MicroProse tokens I printed for this. I'm really happy about these purchases as well. There is a camel. It bans, as we know. Terra, Terreur, Français. Really like it. I've got an Alpha Terra. I've got a German Terra, I believe. I now have the Terreur Français, of Française. I actually am not that good at French anymore. And we've got the French Onulet as well. So really nice purchase. You see, the thing is that all of these cards, they cost less than one, let's say, high-profile basic card or reserved list card would be. But this brings me so much joy. These are still the original cards that I love. I got into the game thanks to these cards, not such cards as the Abyss, even though it is really nice and amazing. But there is not more nostalgia in the Abyss than these cards. This is something to think about. Okay, so here we go with more French cards. French black bordered goodness. We've got Pearl Unicorn, Crystal Rod, and this is a Japanese card. How can you tell whether it's Japanese or not? You have got this hiragana character, and again, it might be katakana, but I believe it is hiragana. Sorry if I'm wrong, which is no, okay? And this basically means something like the genitive case. So this is the equivalent of the preposition of in English, as we can say. So phantasmal forces, like forces of phantasm. Again, I'm not entirely sure about that, but this is one of the good ways to identify whether your card is Chinese or Japanese, because actually there are some similar things. And if you look here, you know, sometimes these will be just not the translations, but they will be transliterations. So, for instance, you know, Magma Jet, and it's literally in Japanese, it says Magoma Jeto. And I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing it, but it just uses these Japanese characters, katakana, the one that they very often use for transliteration of some English words. So this can be the case. So once again, okay, Japanese. This one is also Japanese, black bordered. One more Japanese card. I might be wrong that this is actually the only translation of this as the preposition of, because it means that this is a kind of a creature. This is the creature type. We've got a Healing Salve, Jade Monolith, really useless card. I still decided to acquire it, and I'm not sure why I decided to go for 2 Healing Salves, because I do have a playset already, so why not anyway. Onulet this time is Italian, if I'm not mistaken. Death Grip. I always like this Death Grip, and what is the other card? Life Force, but I never have been able to use them. It's just a nice idea. It's a nice concept, but it never works, sadly. Then we have got Sprung, which is jump. And we've got Flight, Sea Serpent, it's absolutely useless. Which can be sold about Semite Healer. I really enjoy Semite Healer, the German one. And we've got the French flight. So there is a whole variety of languages. Once again, this mountain. Once again, this very, very nice Arabian Nights art mountain. And Nova Pentacle. Nova Pentacle is a card which was a really obscure one in the past. People did not pay much attention to it. They did not appreciate what it did. But it is a very good card actually. If you're playing a creatureless deck, or if you're playing with a lot of walls and such, a bunch of creatures are attacking you, and you redirect the damage to one of these creatures. You actually force your opponent to redirect the damage to one of the creatures that they have. And very often they will be forced to kill their own creatures if they do this. So I've got one copy, now I've got the second one. It might be a good idea. Now we've got, this is not actually the dark, as you all know the story. This is, I believe, is Renaissance, the German Renaissance card from 1995. It does have the dark symbol, but it is a German reprint, which included several cards. So, wow, that's a lot of text. Very nice. Okay. Then we have got one more Japanese card, that is Regeneration. It seems like a good card, but just wasting one card to do that, this is always very sad. This is the problem of casting enchantments on your own creatures and permanents to enhance them. Sadly, this doesn't really work outside of casual games. And a Japanese copy of Orcish Artillery. Definitely going to build a red and white deck with circles of protection, so some things to prevent some symmetric red cards. Then we've got the iconic Minotaur, the Japanese Fear, one more Conservator. I'm not sure how many copies I had. One more Siren Call, Japanese Water Elemental, Japanese Wall of Fire, Tunnel, and one more Scavenging Ghoul. Now I have too many. So there you have it. Quite a lot of cards. Just some nice additions. Everything is black bordered. Look, everything is black bordered. A lot of black bordered goodness for you who appreciate this. Anyway, I would like to thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more. There will be weekly videos, as I said, maybe even more often, depending on the type of content. And I will see you soon. Bye.